Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're dissecting how one famous ad campaign accidentally created two completely different realities.
So let's dive right in. Can the exact same message mean two entirely different things? We're looking at the clinical data behind the famous Dove Real Beauty campaign.
The intent was universal, right? Feature diverse, non-model women and reframe beauty as completely natural and self-defined.
But what's truly fascinating here is the stark, undeniable contrast in how global audiences actually received it. In Western markets, it was a total triumph. We saw massive, measurable increases in brand affinity and sales.
The execution was incredibly skilled. To Western audiences, this message literally landed as absolute liberation. But let's flip to the other side, where this exact same campaign triggered quiet resistance in Asia.
So why on earth did such an empowering message face resistance in places like China and South Korea? The clinical diagnosis is myanza. This means social face and collective dignity operate as core cultural values. This brilliantly illustrates how Western empowerment logic completely inverted when placed under a different cultural lens. The implicit framing suggested that these women were somehow failing to see their own beauty before. Filtered through collective dignity, this actually activated a perception of deficit rather than empowerment.
Which brings us to a crucial point. The meaning of a message is never contained in the message.
Instead, meaning is produced exactly at the point of contact with an audience's pre-existing worldview.
Dove didn't send two different messages. The audiences literally made two different meanings out of one.
That is the sharp edge of preloaded context. A culture's worldview is your message's actual interpretive system. Algorithms just translate words. True professional authority requires deep human insight to map, test, and culturally adopt. Always remember, the map is not the territory, and the message is definitely not what you send. Which leaves us with this. When you speak to the world, whose worldview are you accidentally ignoring?